Love isn't always a fairy tale. Sometimes it's a battlefield. Daniel had everything a man could dream of: wealth, charm, and a bright future ahead. But when he fell in love with Sophia, a modest and hardworking teacher, his life took an unexpected turn. Their love story began with laughter and promises, but it wasn't long before shadows started creeping in. The wedding day was meant to be a joyous celebration, but for Daniel, it felt like a balancing act. His parents sat stiffly in the front row, their disapproval palpable. His father refused to even greet Sophia, while his mother, though smiling, radiated an air of disdain. Marcus, Daniel's older brother, raised a toast that sounded supportive, but Daniel knew the subtle undertones were laced with malice. "To my brother, who always seems to get what he wants," Marcus had said, raising his glass with a smirk. Sophia entered Daniel's world as an outsider. His family made no effort to hide their disapproval. Daniel's mother frequently criticized her cooking, her dress sense, even her way of speaking. His father dismissed her career, scoffing, "A teacher? What future can that bring?" Amidst the hostility, Marcus seemed to be the only ally Sophia had. He often visited, bringing gifts for their newborn daughter, Mila, and offering Sophia a sympathetic ear. But Daniel grew wary of Marcus's intentions. "Why does Marcus come here so often?" Daniel asked Sophia one evening, his tone sharp. "He's just trying to help," she replied, her voice defensive. "At least someone is." The tension between them grew. Daniel buried himself in work, trying to provide for his family, while Sophia felt increasingly alone. Then came the strange occurrences. Flowers in their garden withered overnight, no matter how much care Sophia gave them. Mila cried endlessly at night, her tiny fists clenched as if fighting off an unseen force. Plates and glasses mysteriously fell, shattering without explanation. It was Mama Tattoo, their elderly neighbor, who first voiced what Daniel and Sophia dared not admit. "Your house is cursed," she whispered one afternoon, her wrinkled hands clutching Sophia's. "Someone close to you doesn't want to see you happy." The warnings didn't stop the darkness from closing in. One night, Sophia woke up in the garden, her bare feet cold against the damp grass. She had no memory of how she got there. As she turned, she froze. Standing in the shadows was Marcus, his expression unreadable. "Sophia," he said, his voice calm yet unnerving. "You've been through so much. Let me take care of you." That was when the cracks in their marriage deepened into chasms. If you're hooked on this story, wait until you see what happens next. Like, comment, and subscribe to mrJambo for part 2 of this gripping tale. Betrayal cuts deeper than any blade, especially when it's from the ones you love. Daniel had begun to notice the changes in Sophia. Her laughter had become a rare melody, replaced by distant stares and whispered phone calls. Her once vibrant energy had dimmed, like a candle struggling against a gust of wind. He tried to ignore the uneasy feeling gnawing at him, convincing himself that it was just the stress of family life and the mounting tension with his parents. But one evening, while flipping through bills at the dining table, Daniel found something that stopped him cold: a receipt for an expensive necklace he hadn't bought, addressed to Marcus he hadn't bought, addressed tightened. Marcus had always been too close, too kind, too present in their lives. Daniel shook his head, trying to dismiss the paranoia creeping in. He decided to confront Marcus directly. "Why are you always at my house?" Daniel asked when they met at the family estate. Marcus leaned back in his chair, his smirk widening. "Just looking out for Sophia, little brother. Someone has to with how busy you are." The word stung, but Daniel didn't let it show. Instead, he dug deeper into his work, hoping to drown out his suspicions. That night, as he returned home, the house felt heavier than usual. The sound of Mila crying echoed through the halls, but when Daniel entered her room, she was sound asleep. Confused, he turned to leave, only to hear a faint whisper behind him. "She's not yours to keep. He spun around, heart pounding, but there was no one there. He searched the house, calling out for Sophia, but she was nowhere to be found. Hours later, she returned, disheveled and breathless. "Where were you?" Daniel demanded, his voice trembling. "Out for a walk," she replied, avoiding his gaze. Daniel didn't believe her, but he let it slide. He needed proof before he could confront her fully. The following week, Mama Tattoo approached Daniel with a warning. "Your brother walks with a shadow, and it's not his own. Watch closely, Daniel, before it's too late." Her words rang in his ears as he began piecing together the strange occurrences in their lives. He set up cameras around the house, hoping to catch whatever or whoever was hunting them. What he found shattered his world. The footage showed Marcus entering their home late at night. He wasn't alone. Sophia was with him, and they weren't just talking. The way she looked at Marcus, the way she touched him, it was as if Daniel didn't exist. If this twist caught you off guard, you won't believe what happens next. Stay tuned for the final part of this heart-wrenching tale. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to mrJambo for part 3.